Happy Friday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Friday. A lot of that smoke has lightened up across the state, but it is there. We do still have that smoke advisory for counties down towards Detroit. But welcome everyone that is joining us at this point. We'll take a few minutes here to let some people join, or at least a minute or so to let some people join our stream. Take a look outside right now. We'll start off at Holton Lake. What we see, it is a little bit hazy out there to the north. You do have cloud cover or some light clouds, but otherwise sunshine across the state right now. Maybe farther north to Holton Lake, definitely had a chance some light rain, but really struggling to reach the ground at this point. We take a look even farther north than that, up at Holton, or up at the Mackinac Bridge, and what you see is a very similar outlook there. Just seeing some maybe light clouds, a little bit hazy from that wildfire smoke, but a lot less hazy than what we had yesterday. This is an area that at one point in the morning, the Mackinac Bridge, you could barely see across with that wildfire smoke that was just really hanging there at the surface. Didn't want to take a look at Detroit. Again, this is an area that does have that smoke or that air quality advisory right now. You can definitely tell it is hazy down there in downtown Detroit. So if you have plans of traveling south, I know NASCAR's in town. A lot of people are heading south towards Brooklyn for the weekend. You will have that that air quality advisory there. So just be something to be wary about if you are sensitive to those air qualities. But again, hopefully everyone's having a great day. Thank you everyone for joining us. Again, my name is meteorologist Stone Schaefer, live from our First Alert digital desk. Again, we'll take a look quickly back at Holton Lake. Looking at our traffic right now from across the region, we're looking to be pretty good. There was an accident towards just south of Genesee County that is being cleared at this point. So it does look like your travel is in the good. If anyone is going north or south, again, I know there's a lot of events going on around the state. You should have good travel. May get a little bit busier, obviously, later in the day as more and more people get out there on the roads. But for now, we're looking to be in the good. So if you haven't looked at this yet, here's your update. We'll keep you updated with this throughout the rest of the day. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you put those over in our Facebook chat. I'll be trying to answer them as we go throughout this stream. I'll try to maybe get some time at the end as well to answer any of your questions. Try to keep them within Michigan, just more available there for be able to answer those questions. Now, taking a look at our sky tracker, we do show cloud cover has been trying to build itself in throughout much of our morning into our early afternoon. I know it is showing some light rain for our northern counties, but very much struggling at this point to see that rain reach the ground. But don't be surprised as it moves to the east if you get a quick sprinkle and then it moves up. But obviously you're dealing with some cloud cover. You're obviously dealing with some of that smoke out there. And real quickly, let's look at our smoke across the region, some of our air quality ratings. And what we do see is moderate ratings here through the Tri-Cities, Midland, Bay City, Saginaw. There has been a few sensors, though, that have been picking up on a better air quality, so that's always a good sign. You're especially to the south, though, seeing those air qualities in that orange or red. Detroit, there's been some sensors that have been some of the worst air qualities in the world today for this morning. So obviously if you're going down there to Detroit, I know some people like going down there to just have a good time on a Friday night. You may have to be weary of those poor air qualities. Again, air quality Saginaw, probably in the mid-70s at moderate rating. So improving from what we had yesterday. Air qualities yesterday at times were 150, 160. So always a good thing to see improvement and should continue to improve. I'll have a little bit more details on that here in just a little bit. But again, back to our sky tracker, just that light rain up there to the far northern portions of Michigan, or the lower peninsula, I mean. You do see this clearing, though, right sort of through the heart of mid-Michigan. That's something we may continue to see on and off throughout the rest of our afternoon here. And like always, I zoom out, want to take a look at the broader picture for the Great Lakes region. What you do see, some light rain out there into the UP, but otherwise, many areas are dealing with some cloud cover. Just that area of sunshine really stretching from the thumb all the way in to Illinois and then Iowa, southern Wisconsin. This area will continue to be that stretch that definitely sees some sunshine to deal today. But you are dealing with that wildfire smoke, so may not see as much of that sun with that smoke. Temperatures right now across the board, we are pretty rangy. You got 50s along that shoreline to the east, then north of the bay. You got many areas though, mid to lower 70s. You got Midland at 75, Saginaw also at 75, Flint 75. Lots of 75s right now. West Branch at 73 and Holton Lake at 72. A little bit cooler in areas to the north, maybe those lower 70s. I think that's most likely just because you've seen a little bit more cloud cover today, or at least through the morning, than what we have had in those areas that are seeing 75, like Saginaw and Flint. Now, take a look at winds. They're mostly out of the northeast at 5 to, we'll go 15 miles per hour. Good thing is winds stay relatively calm over the next couple of days. You may get a wind gust or two through Sunday, and then there's a cold front that rolls through on Sunday. When you have that, you usually do get some gustier conditions with that cold front, but for a bulk of the day, winds look to stay calm for Sunday. They'll look to stay calm for Saturday. Now, highs for today, what we're sitting at right now is many of our areas highs for this Friday. A few areas still got a little bit more to go. Gladwin 77, Clare 77. It is showing those upper 70s for areas to the north. Again, I think cloud cover could determine how much warmer you do get today. You may end up getting stuck more in those mid 70s, but there's still a lot of a day to go. You may get some sunshine, and you may get up to those upper 70s in areas like West Branch and into Holton Lake through this afternoon. And we can see average for this time of year right around 76. So we are above that average mark, or at that average mark, for many locations across the mid-Michigan region. Now, looking at our evening planner as we get through about 6 p.m. into the night, we do see temperatures start to drop right around, we'll say, 9 to 10 p.m. And then we'll be back into the 60s and the 50s. You'll have a mix again of clear skies and cloud cover at times. And lows tonight across the board are pretty similar. They're not as rangy as what we have during the day. That's typically what we see at our nights, is those mid to lower 50s, especially this time of year. Some of our warmer areas, 53, Saginaw 53 in Midland. So obviously a little bit warmer there. And again, thank you for everyone that is joining us here on our stream. Just going to take a quick break right now. After that break, we're going to take a look into your weekend, a little bit into your future, and just see how things could be looking, especially if you're going to be heading out to MIS, or maybe traveling the state for the weekend. Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here once again. Thank you to everyone for joining us here on this Friday. Again, I'm live at the First Alert Digital Desk, where you can catch the First Alert Weather Team Monday through Friday, always at 2 p.m., where we'll have updates on your weather and maybe some other weather things across the whole state, whether that be maybe thunderstorms or that smoke that we've been seeing like we have over the last few days, and maybe what we could see as we head into the weekend. But starting off, I want to take a look at our a little bit of a quick forecast looking at MIS, because again, I know that is this weekend, and I know a lot of people are going down there. I've heard it's already busy down there. A lot of people are getting ready for the race, and just like normal, if NASCAR's in town, you're definitely going to see that rain chance, and we do have a chance for Sunday. I think it is a smaller chance at times. It's going to be very isolated in portions of the day on Sunday, but it is going to be there. I think our higher chance are definitely going to be early in the morning. Race time starts at 2 p.m., so that's that time we could start to see more isolated rain. Hopefully we can get a window if you are someone that's traveling down there to get that race in, because again, as always, if you have NASCAR in town, especially at MIS, you know there's going to be a chance of rain, and we once again get that chance for this weekend. As we take a sort of broader look towards our weekend planner here, Saturday, a pretty nice day. You'll be looking at temperatures up into the 70s. You'll have just some mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy skies at times. But again, plenty of sunshine. Looks like smoke should start to should continue to lighten up as we head through Saturday. And just a northeast wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. So that's always a good thing to see those calmer winds. Once we enter Sunday again, temperatures a little bit cooler, maybe a little bit more cloud cover into the afternoon, but there still will be some 70s on our Sunday, especially in some areas to the south. You'll get some sun. Again, winds may be picking up just a little bit more. We'll have variable winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour, gust 20, maybe 25 miles per hour for your winds on Sunday. And I would suspect that once that cold front that looks to move in late Sunday, or maybe even midday Sunday, that will pick up your winds as well. So don't be surprised if you're outdoors later in the evening and that cold front maybe approaches you a little bit earlier in the day, if you do see that winds pick up with that cold front. But quick update for your smoke. Here's your near surface smoke. What we see, it is lightening up. We still have some hanging around at the surface through about midday on Saturday. So again, just this light smoke, maybe a little bit heavier in areas to the north right around 4 p.m. this afternoon. And again, that's been the area that's been a little bit hazier than the rest of the state, other than some areas down towards Detroit for this Friday. But again, good thing to see lightning blues and even some of that smoke going away as we head into our Saturday. Now, taking a larger view, this is our wildfire smoke sort of broad view. It's a little bit more in the atmosphere. So not all that red and orange you see to the northern portions of the state or the region are going to be at the surface. Some of that smoke is going to be in the atmosphere. So you may not smell it, but you're definitely going to be able to see it with the discolored sun and the discolored sky. Maybe not its blue skies as we get through the weekend. But this is through Saturday afternoon. You really see where that cold front is sitting in Wisconsin. This line right here, and I can't point it out because a pointer isn't working, but what you see is that line of red there going through Wisconsin into Illinois. That's your area, that's your cold front pulling in some more smoke. It's similar to what we had earlier in the week where a cold front rolled through or moved through the state, and guess what was right behind it? Some of that wildfire smoke. I think the good thing though is models yesterday were really showing this smoke holding together as it moves into Michigan, but right now models have actually backed off, starting to see it lighten up as it crosses Lake Michigan in to the lower peninsula early Sunday morning. So again, we'll see how that smoke plays out. This is just something we're going to have to deal with as we enter probably the next few weeks. As long as those fires are still burning up there in Canada, there will still be something we have to deal with. And another thing I want to remind people is make sure you're checking your local burn bans, because some areas obviously will have those in place, especially in the northern half of Michigan where they've been just a little bit drier here over the last couple of weeks. And we don't want to start any more fires, especially here, because we saw one last week towards Big Rapids and Grand Rapids. It was a small fire, but it was enough that the models for smoke, like this one we're looking at right now, we're picking up on that smoke moving into Mount Pleasant and sort of that 127 corridor. So if you have a burn ban, just be careful. Make sure you check your local restrictions, because they're usually a little bit different just based on where you are. And that may determine what you can have, because I know a lot of people, again, they want to go up north and they want to have those fires and just have a good time on the weekend, like many of us. Now, low temperature outlook for the next couple of days sort of shows our temperature range. This is a good indication that our highs are definitely going to be closer to average, maybe a little bit warmer towards mid next week. You'll be looking at upper 50s, most likely lower 60s, Sunday night into Monday morning, so that's always a good thing. No frost chances like we've maybe had the last couple of weekends on Saturday night into Sunday. We should be warm enough there. And then by, again, midweek, we may be looking at lows back in the 60s and the 70s. So that's always a good thing to see. Again, we don't want any of the frost development here into June like we did have last weekend. Taking a look at hour by hour, again, clearing skies. You won't be so clear because you do have that wildfire smoke, but you'll see more sunshine through about 5 p.m. tonight. So a good afternoon to get out there if you have any plans. Go out and maybe just have a good weekend with your friends and your family as we head into your Saturday. More of the same, just a mix of sun and clouds in the morning, probably more sunshine, but again, dealing with some light wildfire smoke, especially aloft. As we get into Saturday afternoon, it's more of the same. There really isn't much, and that's always a good thing, not seeing much of that rain chance as we head into our Saturday afternoon. Sunday cloud cover does start to push itself in. This will be right around 9 to 10 a.m. We can start to see our first signs of rain. It should be light, but it is there. there's been a few models that will push it a little bit farther south than this, so it may end up missing up. There's still some question marks with that rain chance on Sunday, at least the early rain chance. By the afternoon, though, we do see the signs of that cold front start to move into the state by about 8 to 9 p.m. When we look a little bit wider here across the state, we see where that cold front sort of stretches from Canada all the way across Wisconsin into Iowa, Illinois, and that will continue just to move to the east through Sunday afternoon. So this is right around 7 p.m. Again, the timing could be a few hours earlier or a few hours later. Just going to have to keep an eye on that because that really will determine when we see that line of rain move in. And there could be a few rumbles of thunder with this. We don't expect severe weather with this line, but you get a cold front, you could get some gustier conditions. There could be just enough lift there where you do get some rumbles of thunder, but that cold front does move out by about probably 8 to 9 a.m. Monday. Again, give or take a few hours. It could slow down as it approaches Michigan. It could speed up as well. But once that moves out, we get into Monday afternoon. Still some isolated rain chances, maybe a little bit more consistent in areas to the far north. And again, Tuesday, just some light isolated rain trying to become more consistent. Again, there's been some debate about Tuesday as well. Some of the models suggest this rain will be moved out pretty quickly, and we could be looking at drier conditions as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday. I do want to point out, though, with that cold front, the Storm Prediction Center has given Sunday a non-severe thunderstorm threat. Again, when you get to this time of year, you have a little bit of heat in the atmosphere, you have a little bit of moisture, you get that cold front, it starts to lift across the state. That's when you start to see just that chance of thunderstorms. Doesn't look to be anything severe. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Obviously, we can see that area down to the south right now into Indiana, Illinois, Chicago area does have a marginal risk. So obviously something we always keep an eye on here at your First Alert weather team. We zoom out actually and look how active of a pattern Sunday looks to be across the country. This is 3 days out, and the Storm Prediction Center already has that sort of enhanced risk down there in Texas, and then that slight risk stretching from Texas all the way out to Missouri and Illinois. So very active day across the country. Not so much for us. That's always a good thing when we get to this time of year. Now, 7-day forecast, it's got us in really a streak of 70s from today all the way through Tuesday. And then it does look like 80s will return on Wednesday and Thursday with mostly sunny skies, a little bit drier of a pattern as we get to the end of the week. So always something to look forward to. Again, just showing those rain chances for Sunday into Monday. We'll see how things continue to adapt. We'll obviously have changes. If you go over to WNEM.com/weather, your First Alert weather team always has updates on what we're seeing when it comes to those rains there. And always check out WNEM.com, where our news team is always working on good stories from around the state, trying to keep you updated. But if you have any questions, make sure you put those into chat right now. We'll see if we can answer any of those. Hello to everyone that was able to join us for today. And just as a reminder, we're going to be live most days, almost every day during the week, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. So maybe you miss our noon show. Well, you can tune into us at 2 p.m. here at the First Alert Digital Desk, either on Facebook, YouTube, or on WNEM.com/live streams. There you'll be able to watch us. We'll give you updates as we head into the afternoon. Maybe we're in a more active pattern. You need another update. That's another good time to tune into our stream here. But we'll take one last look here, downtown Detroit. I know that's an area that has been seeing some of that wildfire smoke really impacting them. You sort of see that haze across the skyline right now. So if you do have plans to go down to Detroit for today, just be wary. You will be dealing with that wildfire smoke once again. But as always, good thing we're seeing it lighten up. Hopefully it doesn't start to move back in as we head into our Monday. And again, thank you for everyone that joined us. As a reminder, I'll say this once again, we will have live streams on Mondays through Fridays at 2 p.m. where your First Alert weather team will be keeping you up to date with your weather and taking a look across the state.